Welcome back, everybody. It's Darren with B&H Railroads. Hope everybody's having a wonderful weekend. I know I am, and that's right, you do see a locomotive sitting on the lift-out section. Well, I promised everybody a lift-out section part 2, and now here we are. So, as you can see, it's just really temporary. The track and the feeder wires are all just temporary, just to make sure everything works in the way I did my connections. So I've decided just for the lift-out section, I'm going to have power just on one side that'll make the contacts, and I'm good with that, and it'll work, no issues, anything like that. So what I did was I just got some copper sheet, and the thickness is 0.25. I went there, and what I did on this lift out section is I just took it, bent it, and then tucked it up underneath the bottom here, both sides, and then just ran screws in it to hold it in place. But I also notched the underneath of this so it would sit flush with the bottom of the framework, so it doesn't make the bench work unlevel up here. And I did the same for the bench work down here. Just ran a screw there and a screw over there. And the same thing, I just notched this lip piece right here so everything would sit flush. And I'll show you guys that here in a minute. Now, let's see if this is going to work. As you can see, we do have a light, so that means we have power. Now, the track is pretty dirty. It's been sitting for well over a year. Probably should clean it, but just for the video purposes, I'm not really worried about it. And I do apologize. I just broke my tripod right before I started doing this, so now I've got to hold it by hand. So let's go ahead and start it up. That's already running. Just turn the volume up. So we're in reverse. Let's see what happens. There we go. Okay, let's go forward. Surprised we're not stalling out any with the track being as dirty as it is, but hey, take what we can get, right? Alright, let's go back in reverse slightly. Step number 3. Alright, so now what we're going to do is come over here. We're going to lift up, and we should lose power. There you go. Lost power. And there we have it. Okay, so it went ahead and put the locomotive up and everything. So let me show you guys and gals how easy it is to do this. Should be able to do this no problem with one hand. Just going to come up here. Lift up. And then that is pretty much it. I'll show you guys what I did exactly. So all I did was I drilled some holes here and here. Put the furniture dowels in there. Same thing over there. So now you can see how I did my copper. So I notched this out right in here. Same thing, notched it out, so when it sits, it pushes up and it sits flush. So that's what makes our contact. Gives us power to that section. And I did the same thing over here. Notched it out. Same thing, so it sits flush. And then this, actually, I'm telling you wrong. This is a little bit lower than flush. So when the lift out section actually sits down on it, it pushes down and then it makes everything flush. And then the lift out section sits flush here. So I won't have any track problems or anything like that. So what I did with these wooden dowels is I just put a little bit of glue inside just to hold them, but I didn't drill all the way through. And this is the only one that doesn't have any marker on it. That was because it's actually upside down, but not a big deal. But what I did to give me my marks to where to drill my holes out at is I just took a Sharpie and just really got that nice and soaked with the Sharpie material. And then just pressed it down, and it gave me my exact locations that I needed for my holes. And it worked flawlessly. Had no problems doing that. I just made sure when I went down, I just sat down slowly, made sure everything was aligned. I have a mark here and then a mark there, so I knew exactly where I needed to be, and it worked out. And I really do apologize. Like I said, I broke my tripod earlier. So what I'm going to do now is try to sit this back into place with one hand. And voila. There we go. That simple. It's not going anywhere. No movement. It's locked into place. And the reason why I decided to do mine like this is for two reasons. One, simple, quick, and effective. I mean, there's 1,000 ways you can do this. But I also wanted it so when Mason gets older, he can come in here and I can show him and he can learn easily how to do this. And there's not much to mess up there. It's just as simple as picking it up and setting it back down. Now, granted, he won't be messing with that for at least another year, year and a half. But before you know it, it'll be that time, and you know, he will be in here. He was actually in here earlier with me. He was overseeing the project. He gave it the thumbs up, but he was getting a little hungry, so he decided to go get some food. So this is basically how it looks. I'm really happy with it. Now, of course, like I said, everything is just temporary. The track is actually going to be on, it's supposed to be a sub-road bed there, and the wiring is going to be done a lot better and neater. So, but just for the video purposes, this is what we have, and I'm very happy with it. All right, guys and gals, I hope you guys having a great weekend, and I'll chat soon. Thanks for watching.